we're gonna make some braised beef. This is a little bit of an improv recipe, but once you know how to do things like braising and stuff, it becomes real easy to just bust it out when you need to. We're dealing with some flank steak, which is one great for braising because it's a tougher piece of meat that does well with brining, with marinating. Really great. I used it for my steak au poivre the other day. What you can see here, though, it's kind of cool, is there's a little bit of sheen, but if you look at it, the meat has a different texture than just normal out of the packaged meat, right? That's because, Alexa, set volume to 4. What I did is I open air brined it, so I just salted the shit out of the meat on both sides, and then I let it sit in the fridge uncovered so that it could dry out. And what that does is it removes a lot of moisture, allows for a better sear, and really intensifies the flavor of the beef. So we have some of that, and then I need to use this. I'm not going to make more au poivre, so I gathered up what I have in my fridge. I normally keep some bell peppers around. I always keep bags of onions. Never hurts to have cheese. I have garlic that I roasted the other day. I just put a little olive oil on it, set the oven to 400, wrap it in tin foil, set it in there until you start to really smell it. When you pull it out, it'll just squeeze right out of the bulb. Add some thyme. Again, these are all just things that I try to keep because they're relatively cheap. Can of Cento organic Italian peeled tomatoes. These are really good. It's a brand that I enjoy. Cento tomato paste. Always have chicken broth. So these are just items that it's good to keep around exactly for this, right? You have a little leftover beef, maybe you have some leftover chicken thighs, something like that. Stock, tomatoes, paste, a few vegetables of the right kind, some herbs, and then a little cheese for fun, and you've got yourself a good meal. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna wash my hand real quick. I love when the thyme comes in a way that doesn't make it a big pain in the ass to break apart and to strip the leaves. There's nothing wrong with using dried thyme. It's perfectly good. I just happen to enjoy the fresh and I keep it on hand. Dried thyme, a little more intense in the flavor. You can tell the difference a little bit. Save the sticks. You don't need to chuck those. If you make stock or anything like that, along with your regular fresh thyme, keep the sticks. There's still flavor, oil in there. Alright, so we have a little bit of thyme. Let's take our garlic out. See the roast. My God. Now this has been sitting in the fridge for a day, but that smell is amazing. Oh, God. I wish you guys could smell that. All right. So that can sit aside. We've got that ready. That'll go in at the same time. We can limit the bowls we waste. Alexa, next. My daytime job is I work in IT. I'm a software development consultant. made it today. We're cooking some braised beef. Just the tip. Only need 1 onion. All right. This is gonna braise for about an hour and a half. Oh, oh. So we don't have to be too crazy about the dice. I'm blind. If I don't cut an onion for a while, like if I'm in my regular cooking mode, these don't bother me. But if I stop, like I had the last couple months, onions get to me every time. Back. You got it, Drew. Bell peppers. Or Dwemer, sorry. I thought you were someone else. Now, if I wasn't about to be out of the house, I would have saved that for like a stock or something, but unfortunately, I will not be around to save it. And I have no freezer space because I don't live on my own. You know what we call it when you're lazy and you don't try to chop even dice? We call it motherfucking rustic. No, I didn't toss half the pepper. I got most of it. But I'm not gonna fuck with those 3 thin slices, you know? No reason to. Like I said, if I was gonna be around, I'd save it for a stock. but I'm not going to be. And I have no freezer space. It might have looked like I was only using the bulges, but like, again, I'm getting like little slivers, and I'm not running a restaurant, so I'm not trying to min-max my food prep. Watch. See, watch. Only thing missing, I'll go ahead and cut this one off. This is what I'm missing. It's that. Which, I mean, that's a bite of pepper, I guess, but it's more of a pain in the ass. Gotta use this music. I would rather be playing Dean or what was his name, Frank, but I don't want to get fucking copyright claims. I googled before this and people have been getting copyright claim for that shit, so. It's gonna be a tight pot. All right, like that. When that happens. The tomato paste is my least favorite can to open ever. God damn it. No worries, Ahsoka. Totally understand. One day I'll make my shakshuka and you can watch that. Alright. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was my roommate's cat getting blown off her desk because she has this little can set up that when they motion detect, they psst, air, and it scares the fuck out of them. You too, Ahsoka. Chicken rice and vegetables later. That sounds delicious. My favorite time to eat rice is when it's like covered in some sauce from whatever the fuck. All right, cool. Like if I get Indian or something like that. Oh God. All right, I think we have our mies ready, right? So we have our peppers, 2 bell peppers, 1 good-sized onion. This is our roasted garlic and thyme. We have our tomatoes ready, our tomato paste. I have a little cheese on the side that we're gonna add at the end. But right now, let's go ahead and let's cube our beef. So again, remember this is brined, well, open air brined, so it's a little drier. You can see just by the darker, richer color. We're gonna go ahead and cut that up into little pieces. But I like, you know, the meat shrinks a little bit. I don't want them too small. Those cubes like that. Makes it also easier to serve and make sure that everyone gets a good piece of meat. I'm pretty happy with that, yeah. They don't need to be super even. Again, we're braising. This is gonna take time. Everything's gonna cook all properly, right? So one thing I am gonna do though, for maximum color, you wanna dry your meat. So this is already drier because of how we treated it with the salt and the open air of the fridge. We want to give it one last pat because you can see a little condensation on there. And then we're gonna go ahead and get ready to cook. So I'm gonna turn this on. I'm gonna go with 7. We'll see where that gets us. All right, so braising is just when you, no, the liquid is gonna be tomato paste. Let me go ahead and adjust this. Apologies. Get to see the floor where all my chopping mess goes. All right. Now, I use olive oil for flavor, but I like to heat my meat with sunflower. Now this is high oleic sunflower oil. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is the highest, it's the highest smoke point oil, and that's what I go for. It's a neutral oil. We will add olive oil for flavor. I'll actually do it at the end with my really good olive oil. I think we're good. All right, so beef out of the kitchen towel. Don't even worry about salting it. Like the seasoning, you season as you go. I'm not worrying about salting this meat because we already salted it. Make sure it's, yep. Woo! I thought I could get away using the small pan, but I think we're going to need bigger space. So after this, we're going to do our searing in this pan. We're going to get all that flavor, the juices, brown our meat, we'll saute our vegetables, then we're going to deglaze, which is where we remove the bits of flavor that stick to the bottom of the pan. We're going to deglaze it with some stock, and then we'll migrate that to the bigger pan. So you can get a little more color on that. I will say the problem with pre-cubing your meat is that when you pre-cube it, it's not heavy. so it doesn't hold itself against the pan as well. But we're looking for some good color, not great color. Good color translates to that brownness, that Maillard effect, gets a little flavor, but we don't need it to be insane, like we did for a steak where we want every bite to have that good crust, right? Well, I'm gonna open up the windows. Noises in my heart. Faces in the window, hiding from the light. What's up, Glipstick? There we go. That's the color we want right there. Look at that. That good a color is what you get from, I'll go in the middle. That's what you get with proper treatment of your meat. While this is going here, I'm actually going to start the vegetables over here. Oh, glue sticks. I use them pretty often. It's been off the last week because we had we were down in Georgia canvassing for the Senate race. But yeah, it's been pretty awesome. Let's turn some of these on their side, see if we can get some color there. But otherwise, this is about done. Mo color equals mo better. Alright, I'm going to turn down the heat for a second. I'm going to collect the meat. I'll crisp a little bit. Now you see all that in there? That's called fond. Oh, that's fucking fond. You might as well just call it flavor, because that's all that shit is. We're going to take a little bit of our chicken broth. We're going to deglaze the pan. Let me get a wooden spoon. I'm also throwing our other vegetables into the other pan. See that sizzle? That's what you can hear. You're not seeing it, but I'm adding a pinch of salt to the vegetables. Nothing crazy, just good pinch. So this is deglazing. We're using liquid to collect what's on the bottom of the pan and clean it. Once we have that, we can remove the pan. Like, look at the color of that liquid. That stock is not that brown because it's store-bought stock. That's flavor. Now we've cooked these off a bit, sweat the onions out a touch. We'll go ahead and add our thyme and garlic. Again, that's garlic that we done roasted in olive oil. Get that heated up. Caramelize. We don't need to cook this too much because we do, in fact, plan to braise this. We're going to go ahead and add our deglazing liquids. And our can of tomatoes. Now, what I do wish I had done is added the tomato paste first with the vegetables. I like to cook it a bit. It's not a huge problem that I didn't do it. It's just one of those little things. It's like toasting spices, right? Your spices are going to taste proper and spicy, but toasting them just adds that extra little bit of depth, and it's each step of that you're looking for. I really love tomato paste, so I'm going to put a lot in there. I also like what's on the spoon. Chop those up. Now these will fall apart as this goes along. Careful not to splash like I just did. Now what you say, well, Lycan, what would you do with this? You can put it over rice, you can put it over pasta. That's what I did the last time I made this. I just threw a box of noodles. Again, this dish is whatever I had in the fridge. I didn't go out of my way. I didn't plan for it. That's where techniques like braising really come in handy. I can't tell you how many times I've just had some sort of meat, tomatoes, and that's it. And made something really delicious. The beef is left over from my steak au poivre. I didn't need all that steak. And you can also use this to deglaze. This is a little bit of dry vermouth, just a touch. Now what I want to do I want to cook off that alcohol. But it gives a little acidity. What's up, Abermuffin? Good to see you. Now I like my sauce thicker, and it will thicken as it goes, but once we put our beef in, I'm probably going to add a little more stock, just to give it more liquid to cook in. I'll braise this covered. One thing you have to be very careful of, excuse me. One thing you have to be very careful of is that tomato sauce is about 52 degrees less in the boiling point. I think the tomato sauce boiling point is about 160. The boiling point of water is 212, I think. Alexa, what's the boiling point of water?
Water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit.
Goddamn, I'm a scientist. And look at that. Sauce is coming together nicely. Those tomatoes are breaking down. It does boil 100 degrees Celsius. But in America, it boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. A little more time. You see how it's boiling? Like, this is not that hot. But that's why it always seems like tomato sauce is bubbling. You're like, the sauce is bubbling, but the temperature's not that high. Why? That is why. I like using the non-stick pans or pots because it can get real easy to burn your shit in those metal pans. More time. There's absolutely more time. Now, we're gonna get ready to add our beef. But first, Alexa, next. Salt and fresh cracked pepper. Season as you go, taste as you go. Also keep in mind that this water is going to boil down. So don't go too aggressive on the salt because flavors do intensify as the liquid boils down, and the salt will remain, and then you'll just have a salty mess. It will be an assault on your taste buds. I'm gonna turn that down. The meat is going to cook for about an hour and a half. See how, like I was talking about earlier? That's chicken stock. See how brown the liquid was earlier? It's because we got all that flavor. Now I want enough liquid. All my meat's covered. Just a little more. Now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take it over to the stove. I'm gonna put it on a boil, get it just to the boil, and then drop the heat. And that is it. Now we clean up. Like you do with rice, I don't know if I'm understanding that question, but if that is a question, I do put this with rice. Or pasta. I prefer pasta, personally. I hate when you don't have enough cupboard space. You have to play the game of does it fit? It's always important to clean up after yourself, especially when you have roommates. I've decided that I couldn't live alone if I wanted to. I would regress back to my never doing dishes ways, because I found that it is very difficult for me to do dishes more than like 3 times without someone thanking me for doing the dishes, without someone acknowledging my contribution to the household. All right, so that's going to braise covered for an hour and a half. Hey Siri, remind me in 1 hour 30 minutes to check meat.
Okay, add to today's reminders.
Taint my plant. Your nice knives like this is my global. Don't set them in the sink. Don't leave them there for things to chip their tip. Wash them right away. Wash it right away, and I dry it right away and put it right away. Alexa, volume down. All right, our liquid was boiling over in the tomato stuff, so I fixed it, stirred it. Now, one thing you guys aren't going to see, so we'll go through the last steps. That's going to boil or it's going to simmer very low for an hour and a half. Once that's done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to take out the meat, and then I'm going to finish the sauce by reducing it. I'm going to turn up the heat, let it bubble a little more aggressively, just to make sure it's the right thickness. Once it's the thickness I want, which is enough to stick to a little bit of pasta or whatever, I'm going to taste it, because remember, we're reducing, so don't salt it yet. I'm going to taste it, season it, and serve it. And that's it. Oh, and right near the end, I have some Gruyere. Some nice, ooh. In fact, I'm gonna have a little piece right now. A little breakfast. Sacre bleu is le Gruyere. It's stinky. It's gonna make my fingers stink. I'm gonna wash my hands after this, but this is good cheese. So right at the end, I'm gonna grate a whole bunch of this shit in there. I do one, Scott. Now I don't stop and wash the pans and pots because I'm performing for you, but almost all except 2 of my pans and then my chef knife goes in the dishwasher. So I just wait till the end, fill the dishwasher up, and it's good for me. But my workspace remains perpetually clean. I always keep my this area clean, because if you don't, as Tony would say, you're gonna be in the weeds real quick. Oh yeah, let's have another piece of that cheese actually. Just a crumb of cheese, sir. Wow. All right. Well, that's it. I have to go do work. Alexa, stop. Thank you all for tuning in. Alexa, I said stop. Jesus. Give me 1 second. All right, go watch Mr. Mooten. I love you guys. Hey, please check out my YouTube. I think the link's in my channel description. Put a video on in the background. I'm trying to get those hours watched up. It would be very, very, very much appreciated. I'm going to do more of this cooking content. It definitely makes it easier for me to balance this with the political stuff. So if you like it, hit that. We're going to be posting this stuff to YouTube as well. So thank you very much. Follow on Twitter, YouTube. Hit that follow button here. Thank you so much, all the folks who followed and subscribed. I say this every time, but we are going to fix these notifications. And you all have a great morning. Enjoy your day, and thank you for watching.
My name is Lycan. Please subscribe to my channel, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I need your subs and I need your support so I can grow my shit bigger. Please, oh please, I don't need donations, just need your follows and adorations. Please, 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 like, subscribe, and follow.